Showcase at the Homeplace. Hey y'all, welcome to this week's edition of Showcase at the Homeplace. We're brought to you by Lab Canna and their associated product line, Tenna CBD. They are makers of full spectrum and isolate CBD products. If you're in the Middle Tennessee area, reach out to Lab Canna online, order some of their products, or visit their retail locations in Nashville. Y'all, we've got a wonderful guest this week. He comes from the Big Island of Hawaii. He loves Garth Brooks, and he is an experienced line dancer. Y'all give it up for Michael Allen. Michael!
Hey, how's it going?
Man, it's good. It's good to have you.
Well,
the world is looking brighter again,
Yes.
I think. COVID is behind, the worst of it is behind the music industry, I hope.
I hope.
Yeah, and things are looking up, man. And you know why part of me is so hopeful?
What's that?
Because I know we're going to hear some incredible country music on this
great.
week's episode.
Awesome.
Goodness gracious! So tell us how you got here, Michael. Born and raised in Hawaii, and you moved to L.A. and you've always loved country music, and you finally decided to come here to Nashville.
Yeah. I mean, really, country music, I started getting into it when I was probably about 12 years old. Mm-hmm. And, you mentioned Garth Brooks, and that's really the crux of what really got me into the genre to begin with. I was just watching TV one day, and one of his concerts came on, and I was like, oh, I like this.
Yeah.
I guess when you're at that age, you're like very impressionable.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
But that was the impression that they got laid on me. And so I just kept listening to other things that he'd done, and started watching the award shows and saw other artists that I liked. And so I got into like Brooks and Dunn and Clint Black and, the whole 90s country scene.
Oh, the big explosion of country music.
Yeah. And then that was it. I was like, oh, I want to go to Nashville one day.
Yeah.
Ended up going to USC for college in Los Angeles, and I just got stuck there kicking around. I went for film, and I did that for a little while and just decided it was like burning me out, and I don't know, I just was stagnant for years. And then I met my wife at a line dancing bar, and she really lit a fire under my butt, and it was like, if you want to go to Nashville, now's the time, go to Nashville. So here we are.
All right. That's great, man. Now, L.A. recorded a lot of great country artists like Buck Owens at Capitol Records. Everybody talks about the Bakersfield sound, and it's a great sound.
I actually met Dwight Yoakam while I was working at the Best Buy in Hollywood.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Well, what was that like? What was he getting?
He'd come in there a couple times. Appliances,
Yeah.
It's Hollywood, so you see pretty much everybody.
Yeah.
I always tell people, like, one of the guys that would come in all the time is Stevie Wonder, and they're like, what does Stevie Wonder want in a Best Buy? But, being right in the middle of West Hollywood, you get a lot of people. And, Dwight Yoakam at that time was really more into his movie career.
Sure.
And so we used to see him all the time.
That's back when he was like in Sling Blade, I guess.
Yeah. And Panic Room.
Yeah. Classic film.
When he played the creepy villains. Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Dwight did have a acting career, and you're right. He always did play an odd character. He was never like the go get him, protagonist of the movie. Well, that's interesting, man. So in California, there's its own music thing, and in Nashville, of course, there's its own music thing. How would you compare and contrast the scene that you've experienced as far as country music is concerned in both of those places?
I almost feel like the sound, that Bakersfield traditional country sound, is still alive in Southern California. There's a lot of the local bands that I ran into there at the line dance clubs are still really playing that kind of music, and a lot of it may just be because it's for line dancing, but a lot of them also have original songs, and they sound like old country music sounds from the 70s, you know?
Yeah.
So, you know, that's kind of more where they're at. And then Nashville, of course, you have a blend. I feel like they're starting to kind of branch out now where you had like the early 10s, like Florida Georgia Line kind of pop country sound. And then here comes like Chris Stapleton and Jason Isbell and stuff. And they're starting to pull more people into like the folk Americana realm. And that's really cool too. I really dig Americana music myself. So it's nice to have a variety of things that you can listen to.
Yeah, man. It's good to have some style and panache in your musical artists out there. All different flavors of not just country, but like you said, Americana, folk, roots music, blues, all that stuff, man. It's part of the American Songbook. Well, song number 1, Michael, is called Struck a Chord. What can you tell us about this song?
So this song is basically about songwriting and why I do what I do, and kind of how I got into the craft to begin with. And it's like my story, essentially, you know? Right. This is really personal. I mean, all my songs are pretty personal, but this one is really personal. I wrote it a few months ago, right before coronavirus took over, and got to perform it a couple places and got really good response from it. Haven't gotten it recorded yet, but we'll be on the lookout for it soon.
Neato. Can't wait to hear it. Y'all, this is Michael Allen doing Struck a Chord. Take it away, Michael.
Well, I started to write songs when I was 13. Young love put the words on the page. I didn't know much about music and such, but I heard it calling my name. One day after school, it showed up in my room, that second-hand gut-string guitar. It was withered and worn. When I struck my first chord, I felt it shoot straight through my heart. So I strum on these strings as I stand on this stage, tell my stories and sing my songs. I look at your faces out there in the crowd, and I know this is where I belong. When you tell me that you've been touched by the music, that's why I keep writing these tunes. Even if I don't play at the opera one day, I hope I struck a chord with you. Well, I still remember the first song that I ever learned how to play on my own. The words that I sang and the slap of the strings tapped into the beat of my soul. Yeah, the way that the lyrics and notes intertwine bring to life all these feelings inside. They flow from the depths of me into the melody, driving this wood and wire. So I strum on these strings as I stand on this stage, tell my stories and sing my songs. Look at your faces out there in the crowd, and I know this is where I belong. When you tell me that you've been touched by the music, that's why I keep writing these tunes. Even if I don't I hope I struck a chord with you. When you tell me that you've been touched by the music, that's why I keep writing these tunes. Even if I don't play at the opera one day, I hope I struck a chord with you. Yeah, all these songs that I play, at the end of the day, I hope I struck a chord with you.
Man, that was really good. Wow. What a song. Oh, that hit me right in the heart. That was great, man.
Well, thanks a lot.
Even if I don't play on the Opry one day, I hope I struck a chord with you. Oh, man, isn't that what we're all trying to do? Goodness gracious. Oh, good song. Well, I know that you have been involved with a particular subculture there in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Revolves around line dancing, and you've told me that you don't find the same zeal for line dancing here in Nashville. Can you tell us about the culture of line dancing there in Southern California?
Yeah, it's really driven now by the youth. Like, it's really youth centric. So you'd be surprised. Like, you'll see a lot of these clubs have 18 and up nights or family nights, and people will bring their kids or kids from the college. Like Fullerton will come and dance, and they really get into it. It's like, for people that don't like the whole club scene necessarily, the bump and grind, that like a more structured form of dancing, line dancing's awesome. It's a great form of exercise. I lost tons of weight while I was line dancing. And it's just fun. It's fun. Once you start to really get the hang of it and you're able to get out there on the floor and do it, it's like you're part of a community,
Yeah.
And we actually, a bunch of my friends and I, we formed this thing called the Rodeo Crew, and it was our own little line dancing clique.
That's good.
But there's a bunch of cliques around there in Southern California, and there's a few clubs we used to go to, the Ranch in Anaheim, in Cahoots in Fullerton, and my favorite, Cowboy Country in Long Beach. And that's where I met my wife. I mentioned that before, but that was really our home ground, Cowboy Country.
Oh, that's great, man. That's fantastic.
Yeah. It's a lot different here,
Yeah.
Because there, like, every new song that comes out will have a dance. Like, somebody will make a dance. Whether the dance catches on or not, is another thing. But there's so many different dances that you have to learn out there. Over here, it's like most of the clubs will have a handful of dances, like maybe 10, 12 dances.
Yeah.
And they'll just play the same dances over and over again. In Southern California, you can go a night and you'll have this sheet that the DJ takes, and people will request dances, and there's like 50 different things on the sheet.
Oh, wow.
And he's like, I can't get to all these. So it's way different there. Wow. You need to know a lot more dances, that's for sure.
Wow, I feel like that's something that we should have and embrace in Music City, right?
Yeah.
Because that's where the country music industry lives. But I also suspicion that because Nashville and the bar scene in Nashville is so tourist-oriented that nobody has enough time to stay here to learn dances with their friends. Because they all go back to Iowa or wherever they're from, you know?
I think that's probably why most of the clubs here in the Nashville area are not like in Nashville,
Yeah.
There's one, Silverado's up in like Rivergate over there.
Okay, yeah.
And there's Cahoots over in Lebanon. But like downtown Nashville, you have Wild Horse, and that's kind of, it's a tourist line dance place. And we actually had one of our friends, Kyle, he came from Cowboy Country, and he was teaching at Wild Horse for a while. but he was trying to really bring that Southern California dance scene here.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I think you're right. It's there's very few regulars that will go to the Wild Horse Saloon and dance all the time. So that's probably one of the main reasons.
Interesting.
And the other thing is, like, here, when you're at a line dance club, it's always a DJ, right?
Oh.
In LA, we had some clubs would have a DJ all the time, but some clubs would have a band and a DJ back and forth. So the band would play certain songs, the DJ would play certain songs that the band wouldn't play.
Oh man, I hadn't even thought about that. Because you're right. When I'm in an environment at a bar where they have a dance floor and line dancing would be a part of it. It's a DJ and they're playing like this mashed up like Mark Chestnut version of whatever, like the Watermelon Crawl, but it's not really the Watermelon Crawl. It's it's like this EDM version of Watermelon Crawl. I mean that's fine, but I feel like having a live band there would add a certain gravitas to the situation. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know a lot of bands, they want to play the songs they want to play.
Yeah.
And not have to cater to the line dance crowd, but there are a few bands that do play all the line dance songs, even the ones that are more poppy. But it's interesting. Like, we're used to that. So whenever we go out to downtown Nashville and we hear a band playing a song that we dance to, we'll go and dance. So if y'all are ever in downtown Nashville and you see me out there dancing, like that's just how we do it out in LA.
Man, yeah. All right. Well, song number 2 is called Pensacola. What can you tell us about this song, Michael?
So I kind of came up with this idea for Pensacola, just off the seat of my pants. This is one of those songs that's not necessarily really a personal song. It's just like a fun song.
Yeah.
I wrote this with Drew Albanesius, and I'm actually gonna go co-write with him later today again. But this is just kind of like a party song. And then during coronavirus lockdown, I kind of messed with it a little bit to kind of incorporate a little bit of quarantine and a little bit of Tiger King, if you listen.
All right, I'm all about it. The cultural phenomenon that was Tiger King. All right, y'all, this is Michael Allen performing Pensacola.
Cranking Bob Marley with the windows down. Got a Yeti in the back with the white claws poking out. Been waiting all winter for the sun to shine. Got stuck all spring in quarantine. Gonna show 'em what being young and crazy is all about. And when we spot the coast, we begin to holler. All you cool cats and kittens, that's Florida water. We're headed down to Pensacola, cruising to the beach in an old Toyota, red hot sand and a cold Corona. Yeah, we're gonna have a party in Pensacola. Gonna party down in Pensacola. Pour whiskey in Pensacola. Wake up in the sand and watch that Gulf Coast sunrise. Have a Bloody Mary at the beachfront tiki bar, cranking on slack key and steel guitar, praying this panhandle party never dies. Alright, we're heading down to Pensacola, cruising to the beach in an old Toyota, red hot sand and a cold Corona. Yeah, we're gonna party down in Pensacola. hotel balcony. It's the living young and wild and free. Yeah, we headed down to Pensacola, cruising up the beach in an old Toyota, red hot sand and a cold Corona. Yeah, we're gonna have a party in Pensacola. Yeah, yeah, gonna party in Pensacola. Pour me a rum in Pensacola. Yeah, Pensacola. In Pensacola.
Party anthem. That was great, man. When we post about that, we're like going to tag the Pensacola Tourist Commission and all that stuff in it, man. That was great. What a party song. Now, it's come to a specific part of the program. You know what time it is, Michael?
What time is that?
It's time to see what's in the mini fridge this week. Up High IPA from Terrapin Beer Company out of Athens, Georgia. It'll make you want to boogie and slap hands and paddle. It says so right on the can. It is seriously delicious. It's got a great citrus flavor, and it's a great summertime beer. Go find some at your local store. And we're back. Y'all, we're drinking this Up High IPA from Terrapin Beer Company out of Athens, Georgia. Make you want to give your buddy a high five. That's what they're alluding to. Up High. It's really good. Michael.
They never do say high five on this thing, do they?
They never say high five once. They're just trying to incite you to give a high five. They even say slap hands on the can.
Is high five a trademarked phrase?
Oh, I hope not. I don't know. If it is, we're getting sued. Well, this would go great with your last beach song, but the next song isn't about sand. It's about clay. It's called Carolina Clay. What can you tell us about this song, Michael?
This is one of those songs that just came about from somebody saying the words Carolina Clay, and my songwriter brain going, ooh, I can do something with that.
Oh, of course. We're always snatching phrases out of the air.
Snatching phrases. That's what we do.
Very good, man. You ready to play it?
Yeah. I just wanted to mention that this song is available on Spotify, Apple Music, and all that stuff. It's part of my first album release called Southern Summer. So if you search my name, Michael Allen, Southern Summer, you can find this and 7 other songs on that Southern Summer album.
Neato. Awesome.
All right.
All right, y'all. This is Michael Allen doing Carolina Clay.
I was working part-time serving at a diner to pay my way through class at UNC. I watched people come and leave this place without a second look, till a red-haired girl blew in from the northeast. One summer she came rolling in Raleigh, passing through on her way down to Myrtle Beach. Somehow I guess she took a shining to this southern boy and convinced me to go with her for a week. Oh, her smile was white as a Mississippi, and her laughter was as sweet as a Georgia peach. Her eyes shine like fireflies in Alabama, she cried, it was like a storm down in New Orleans. She hit my heart racing like Kentucky horses. When she left me cold as Smoky Mountain rain. But the thing I most remember about those southern summer days was her hair as red as Carolina clay. We spent our days out laying by the shoreline, and at night we made waves beneath the sheets. And as her auburn locks flowed all around me in that summer heat, she sure felt like a southern girl to me. I just wanted her to stay with me forever, but it wasn't in the cards for her and me. Well, I'm pretty sure I loved her, but I never got to tell her, and she burns like wildfire through my memory. Oh, her smile was white as a Mississippi, and her laughter was as sweet as a Georgia peach. Her eyes shine like fireflies in Alabama, and when she cried it was like a storm down in New Orleans. She hit my heart racing like Kentucky horses when she left me cold as Smoky Mountain rain. But the thing I most remember about those southern summer days was her hair as red as Carolina clay. How I wish I could go back to those sweet southern summer days, and her hair as red as Carolina clay.
Michael Allen, ladies and gentlemen. What a song. That was great, man. That was really good.
It actually helped me win the Lynchburg Shine On Series songwriter competition last year. Yeah, so I got to play their festival in last August, and we're on track to play it again this year. But
2020 happened.
Yeah.
Jeez. Well, that's great, man. No, that was a country song I've heard in a long time, man. I loved it.
Well, thank you.
Oh, well, tell the audience at home where they can find you on the socials, on Spotify, look you up, wherever, man. We want to get people listening to your music.
Great. As I said, Michael Allen on Spotify, Google Play, Apple Music, wherever you go and find music. There are a lot of Michael Allens. So if you search Michael Allen Southern Summer, which is the title of my album, it will be much easier to find me. Otherwise, you'll have to weed through a bunch of non-Asian Michael Allens to find the Asian one. And then social media, I'm at Mike Allen Music pretty much everywhere. So Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Mike Allen Music. And then you can also go to michaelallenmusic.com for my actual personal website. And keep up on my shows and new releases and things like that.
Neato. Y'all find it everywhere at Mike Allen Music. Y'all, this has been Showcase the Homeplace. We are brought to you by Lab Canna and their product line of Tenna CBD full spectrum and isolate CBD products. We will see you next week. Thank you so much for tuning in. Michael, would you like to play us out?
Absolutely.
All right.
Well, it takes just like a time.
Thank you for tuning in to Showcase at the Homeplace, where we bring you a new guest artist and interview every week. If you're enjoying this program, please consider supporting us on Patreon by clicking the link right here. Watch another episode by clicking right here. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you next time.